The real daughter was acknowledged by the wealthy family on the first day, and the father immediately threw her a severed kinship letter, right after he claimed that everything in the family had nothing to do with her, and he even offered her $5 million as compensation. He even arranged an indifferent fiancé to hastily dismiss her. Yet they severely underestimated the girl's firm determination to protect her own rights. She not only tore the agreement on the spot, but also swiftly pulled out a formal lawsuit, demanding that the family compensate her for her 18 years of upbringing, fees, and emotional damage, a total of $80 million. They never knew the girl had been an undefeated queen in the legal world in her previous life. Relying on her past memory, she had long asked her adoptive father to purchase every possible insurance, and also completed over a dozen property notarizations, only to ensure that the tiny attic under her name would never be taken away. Just when she thought her vast legal knowledge had no place to be used, a top powerful family unexpectedly came knocking. Only then did she learn she was the real daughter abandoned many years ago by the richest family. The girl came to the house not for affection, but to reclaim everything that rightfully belonged to her through proper legal means, to cleanse the shame of having her identity stolen for 18 long years. But she never expected her parents to be so heartless. Fortunately, she had already prepared carefully. When the family learned she was asking for $80 million, they were furious. They all scolded her as greedy, cold, and heartless for calculating even her birth parents. The scheming adopted daughter also pretended to persuade her, claiming she understood the girl harbored resentment. However, no matter what, those were still her birth parents, and she should not threaten them with a lawsuit. The mother even regretted bringing the girl back into the family. But the girl did not care about any shallow affection. She only wanted the compensation that should belong to her. The father again threatened the girl to quickly sign the severed kinship agreement or face consequences. However, the girl had already prepared fully. She said she had started recording from the moment she stepped in. Every single word from the family would become courtroom evidence, and she directly questioned her father on the spot, asking if he was threatening her. Seeing this, the parents finally softened their attitude, and once more tried to persuade her to accept the wealthy marriage arrangement, saying they had worked extremely hard to secure it. The girl instantly exposed their lie. She had long investigated the background of the person arranged for her. He was originally the fiancé of the fake daughter, but because the scheming adopted daughter was found to have health issues, the parents brought her back to replace her and fulfill the engagement. As soon as she finished, the father received a call. He learned the girl had already applied to freeze the company assets. He was so enraged that he nearly exploded. The girl calmly said she did all of it. Before she received her compensation, the family would not be able to touch a single dollar. No matter how hysterically the parents cursed, she remained unmoved, and after saying "see you in court," she elegantly walked away. The family members were furious and immediately contacted a lawyer, asking about the chances of winning the case. The lawyer said the chances were extremely high, but dragging it out would bring more losses than benefits. He suggested settling through mediation and convincing the girl to withdraw the lawsuit, but the father felt that would be far too generous to the girl. The brother vowed that he would make the girl kneel and apologize, so she would regret everything she had done. The girl returned to her adoptive parents' home. They were extremely worried upon hearing she had sued her birth parents and demanded $80 million. They hurriedly urged her not to be impulsive. If things escalated, it would not benefit her. They even offered to give her their own money. The girl comforted them, stating she was not doing this for money, but for the fairness of the law, and she asked them to help her investigate something. Shortly after, the family arrived at the adoptive parents' home with a lawyer. The lawyer proposed raising the compensation to $50 million, and even gifting an additional luxurious villa. They only needed the girl to withdraw the lawsuit and publicly apologize. The scheming adopted daughter once again pretended to be guilty, saying everything was her fault. The girl instantly shattered her act. Seeing this, the lawyer stepped up and threatened the girl, claiming her father's corporation was not to be messed with. If they went to court, she would not only fail to get money, she might even face prison. Yet the girl remained fearless and calmly asked about the lawyer's years of experience. Then she cited the criminal law regarding abandonment, explaining that when she was thrown into a trash bin, the weather was below freezing. If her adoptive father had not found her, she would have already died of cold. This alone constituted a severe case of abandonment. The girl then presented her recorded evidence, playing the father's earlier demand for her to sign the severed kinship agreement, using money to cut family ties, proving it was the father's second act of emotional harm with undeniable evidence. Seeing this, the lawyer knew he had lost. He could only ask how much the girl truly wanted. The girl repeated that $80 million was already a discounted amount. She calculated it based on the company's nearly 18 years of financial reports, taking half of the family income as upbringing fees, and adding emotional damage and identity theft compensation. She also presented the court order freezing their assets, telling her parents that not a single dollar could be touched before the lawsuit ended. The girl further added that she would file a second lawsuit against the scheming adopted daughter, pursuing responsibility for illegally taking her identity for 18 years and gaining nearly $1 million. Her unwavering resolve finally pushed the father into complete rage. He began twisting the truth and slandering the girl to the media, claiming he kindly brought her back, but she was greedy, demanding company shares and trying to drive out the adopted daughter. And after being refused, she sued her birth parents. The media coverage threw the girl into a storm of public criticism. People accused her of being ungrateful. Some even went to her adoptive parents' home to cause trouble. The adoptive mother was so distressed she fainted on the spot. The brother even brought people to provoke them and injured the adoptive father. But the adoptive father had obtained crucial evidence. Seeing her adoptive parents hurt pushed the girl into fierce anger. She decided to give her parents a heavy gift at the upcoming family press conference. At the conference, the family once again slandered the girl. The father forced her to go on stage and kneel to apologize in front of all reporters. Not only that, he demanded she fulfill the marriage arrangement for the scheming adopted daughter. Facing this group of vicious people, the girl girl stayed silent, because she knew they would not be laughing for long. The father originally believed the girl had given in, but unexpectedly she stepped onto the stage, boldly declaring she would sue her birth parents and pursue the family's legal responsibility. In the next moment, law enforcement announced the crimes of the family, leaving her birth parents completely stunned.